It's not too late to go back.
If you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right.
So this movie's going to screen in theaters. I mean, like,
Yep.
before it comes out on Netflix, which seems right for something like this big and scary and gory. Like, it would be fun to watch it with a group. Tell me how you felt when you heard that news.
The truth is, when I signed on to do this movie, I was like, completely awesome. Let's just go for a Netflix experience. You're going to stream this bad boy and that's it, right? Like, no expectation for it to play in a theater. I understand, And so in a lot of ways I was like, let's go bigger because it's going to be on a TV so we can just go completely nuts. It's I don't have to worry about like anyone screaming and running from the theater because, you just pause it, I guess, if it's too much. But then Netflix came to me just a couple of weeks ago and they were like, look, we've just done this deal. We want to put Army in the theaters for a week and like on all these screens, and it's going to be amazing. And I was first of all, I was like, whoa, that is so cool because it really, I think, represents this evolution, even just for Netflix. They have this confidence in kind of where they are that I think that the theaters, to go back to the theaters and be like, we just want to give you this big movie, and let you kind of, let's get some people back in the theaters, I think is really cool.
There was an interview this week in which you said that like there was a full frontal male zombie scene that you guys cut because it was a little too much. Okay.
A little bit too, yeah. I was like, it was in the title sequence and I'm like, maybe it's a little early in the movie, just for a giant zombie penis with a bite taken out of it. I don't know. And,
I was going to say, also pretty early in the movie, there is some other racy stuff. Like there's a couple, there's some topless showgirls, zombies, some other stuff. How do you know what's too much?
I don't know. It's just like, I think you just have to be slightly intuitive with it. Like what feels, like the topless showgirls, they're kind of getting some revenge, I think. I kind of felt like, that was like, they're so Vegas-y that I just felt like, it was right. I was hoping that like with this movie, you want to kind of get a sense of the movie that you're in pretty quickly, I mean, the title sequence is in a lot of ways designed as a kind of primer for the movie. The title sequence kind of it takes you on a virtual sort of emotional tour of what you're in store for over the next 2 hours after it's over. And I think that, you really just have to play your instincts a bit with that and kind of see how it feels. And the cool thing about the title sequence is, with the music and Liberace, you kind of feel a little bit like, okay, this is just going to be a romp, and even like, Richard Cheese kind of commenting on what he's seen or what we're seeing in the song, kind of, you feel like, okay, they're not going to let me get too scared or too, they're going to kind of let me off the hook. But then as Allison comes in, now the tone starts to change. And then suddenly, like, you find yourself in this slightly darker place, by the end. And I think that's kind of the fun of it, is to kind of, I love to kind of like, just kind of get you in just so you're too far away from the door. That's just fun.
I'll never see Vegas the same way again. So thank you for that.
Yeah. When we were talking about Vegas and they were like, do you love Vegas or do you hate it? And I'm like, well, it's kind of both. It's kind of like, is it heaven or is it hell? I'm not sure.
It depends what you're into, I guess.
There's a goddamn zombie tiger. That's crossing the line.